So my how-to videos on how to cook hash browns. So right here we have the necessary items and ingredients that you need to cook them. So first off, you got to start with your hash browns. These are diced hash browns made by Ida, which is a frozen food company. You have your olive oil so that your hash browns don't stick to your pan. Got your pan and lid so that you can properly cook them, and then your utensils so that you can stir your hash browns. And then you also need a stovetop so that you can cook your hash browns. So the first thing you want to do when you're cooking hash browns is, since they are frozen hash browns, you want to drop them on your countertop a couple times to break up the clots inside the bag since they're frozen. So that should be enough. After you do that, you're going to want to turn your stovetop to a medium setting, like a 6 or a 7. And then your stovetop is going to begin to heat up. Once your stovetops begin to heat up, you can place your pan on there, and then you're going to want to grab your olive oil and just pour a light glaze on there so that your hash browns won't stick to it. Put a light glaze on there and then mix it around in the pan. Tilt it from side to side. To cover the entire pan. Once you've done that, you're gonna want to grab your hash browns, and then according to the amount of people that the serving is, you're gonna pour those into your pan. So then, once you pour your hash browns into your pan, you want to take your lid and you're just gonna set that on top of those so that the lid captures the heat or the water vapor that's coming off the hash browns. As the hash browns cook in the olive oil, they release water vapors and steam, and it rises up to the lid, and then the lid traps it and keeps the moisture in the hash browns while they cook. After letting the hash browns cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to want to take the lid off and stir them so that they don't get burnt on one side. And when you stir them, it keeps them from only cooking on one side so that they get an even cook all around. Once you've stirred it, you're going to put the lid back on so it captures more moisture that is releasing from the olive oil in the hash brown. After about another 3 to 5 minutes, they're going to need to be stirred again. The heat will release from the pan, or from where the lid was trapped and then they need to be stirred, and then they'll get this golden brown texture where the heat has hit them from the pan. And then once again, after another 3 to 5 minutes, you're going to need to take the top off and stir them one last time. But this time is a little bit different though, because you're not going to put the lid back on top of the hash browns or the pan, because you want the moisture to leave them so that they stiffen up a little bit so that they're not mushy when you eat them. After they get finished cooking, they'll have this golden brown texture to them and they'll be nice and stiff. And then after that, you're going to want to pour them into your whatever you're using to eat them. So in my case, it's a bowl, so you're just going to want to pour them into the bowl like so. And then you're going to want to turn your burner off so that the burner is no longer on and that is no longer hot. Once you pour your hash browns into your plate or bowl, you can add a little bit of seasoning with some salt and pepper. And then I put ketchup on my hash browns to give it a little bit more flavor. Like so. After you get done doing that, your hash browns are ready to eat, and they're all good. So after you get done cooking and preparing your hash browns, you can go ahead and eat them. And yeah, so this has been How to Cook Hash Browns by Joshua Sponnell.